Welcome to the last stop on the World Cup circuit. Many of the best in our sport came to Poland for one last shot at securing a spot in the World Cup finals. Wroclaw has played a major role in European history, ultimately becoming the capital of the region known as Silesia. For a week, though, it became the capital of the World Cup Tour, Poland's largest western city, adding 300 temporary residents, all of them hoping to find their way to Switzerland. It takes a lot of time and effort to compete at the world-class level. To stay here and have success, you have to devote your life to this sport. But that begs the question, given the chance, what would one do without a bow and arrow?
If I were an archer, I think something with a sport. I love all the sports. I think something with wheels.
That's a good question, actually.
Police hunting, police fishing, being a caster.
I always wanted to be like a superhero, like Superman or Batman.
That's a pretty tough question.
I will come in archery.
And I don't know, maybe a fisherman. That's what I like.
Doctor, a teacher, but it's not serious.
I don't want to think of that. I'm an archer and I enjoy my sport, I enjoy what I'm doing, so I'm happy to be an archer.
Nowhere else these men would rather be than the gold medal match at stage 4 in Poland. 22-year-old Atanu Das teaming up with two veterans, Tarundip Rai and Batman wannabe Jayanta Talukdar. India the favorite to win the men's team gold medal, but they'd have to overcome these three amigos from Mexico. Luis Alvarez was on the Mexican team that struck gold in Medellin. Juan Rene Serrano claimed an individual silver medal at stage 3 in Turkey, and Pedro Vivas Alcala was just coming off a win at the Mexican Grand Prix. Going into the fourth set, Mexico on top by 2, with India trying to rally. While this observer was far from speechless, this match wasn't exactly following the script. India's team would try to write a new ending, Atanu Das dashing off the first line with a 9. Tarundip Rai, a man who'd overcome a career-threatening injury, continued India's comeback. And Jayanta Talukdar took a shot at it too. 3 solid efforts keeping India in contention. But they needed some help, and Luis Alvarez was not about to lend them a hand. Same goes for Vivas Alcala, an experienced shooter who qualified for the World Cup finals 3 years ago in Istanbul. Serrano would keep the streak going as Mexico met the challenge, matching India's 27 points. India needs a break, but the shot by Das almost breaks bad. He barely catches the line for another 9, preserving India's hope of catching fire, which is exactly what happened next. Rai releases a shot that finds the sweet spot in the center of the target. Trouble is, Talukdar didn't have much time left to take his shot, and it showed. He's about as blue as the 6 ring after that stroke of bad luck seals India's fate. The top team coming out of qualifying is vulnerable now, and Luis Alvarez knows that. He closes in for the kill with a 9 that's just fine. Pedro previously put one in the 7 ring, helping India win the 3rd set, but here in the 4th, Vivas Alcala stays right on track. So, Mexico just needs 7 or better from Juan Rene Serrano, and he serenades them with some string music that nets the 7 points needed to secure the title. Serrano providing a bit more suspense than he'd prefer, but it's just enough to get the job done. Mexico defeats Germany and France in shoot-offs, knocks out Russia in the semifinals, and finishes the job with an endearing win over India to claim the gold medal in the men's team competition. The bottom line, it is Mexico 5 and India 3. For my last arrow, I first only thought about my shooting, but then I thought about points, and it distracted me. I didn't shoot my best shot, but we needed a 7 to win, and that's what I shot. So, we won the gold medal.
Tenemos la medalla de oro.
I'm Jake Kaminsky from Team USA, Olympic silver medalist from London. And I'm here today to talk to you about the recurve limb. I'm here to tell you what the definition is, how it's used, what it does, the good properties of a limb, like how straight it is and how smooth it is. So what is a limb? A limb is just like it is on your body. It's the part that is furthest out and actually doing the work. So this part on the bow is the limb. There's a top limb and a bottom limb. And within that, they need to work together at the same exact time to shoot the arrow straight. Now, recurve is basically an evolution of the limb. From old times was long bows and flat bows from England, but now what we use is a recurve bow, which defines the curve of the limb. It recurves back towards the shooting line. Now, what actually is the most important part of the bow is actually the limb, in my opinion, because it is what actually propels the arrow downrange, because it stores the energy. So as I pull back the bow, you can see the limb actually bending. That stores the energy. So the further you pull back the bow, the further the arrow could go and the more power it has. Each set of limbs is rated at 28 inches of draw length. So that means that my limbs are 44 pounds. So that means when I'm at 28 inches of draw length, they weigh 44 pounds. But because I have a longer draw length than that, I actually shoot higher weight, closer to 50 pounds. Now, what defines a good limb is something that is very straight and very stable. Stable meaning the twisting. So see, if I take my limb and I can twist it back and forth, I can barely twist this limb. A lower grade limb is much, much easier to twist. So if you got straight limbs and you're ready to shoot, just go and shoot the arrows in the middle.
After a disappointing spring and summer, Deepika Kumari went back to her old bow and her former coach and returned to the form that had gotten her to 3 World Cup finals. Here in Poland, India's top female archer would reach the women's bronze medal match, going for her 3rd win of the day. But Russia's Tatiana Segina had even more riding on this match. Win and she'd be in the World Cup finals. Lose and she's not going to Lausanne. Simple as that. So the stakes were a mile high for the 22-year-old European champion. 6 arrows into this match, these two had split the first 2 sets, and they were tied at 2 apiece. Kumari sets up camp in the middle of the target, opening set 3 with a 10. That shifts the burden onto Segina's shoulders, and Tatiana tattoos a 9 on the target to drop a point back of Kumari. Kumari keeps attacking with another strike right down the center. Now there's even more pressure on the young Russian, who is trying to keep pace and try to secure a spot in Lausanne. After that 9, she's trying to keep her composure. Kumari's a cool customer, but she's only human. Deepika potentially drops a point, but only if Segina can take advantage. She does not, so the set goes to Kumari, who now has a 4-2 advantage in this bronze medal match. The word's out all right. India's finest appears to be in position to pick up her 3rd medal of the day. Segina's down, but not out. Win the next set, and she's back in the match, back in contention for the World Cup finals. The weight of the moment seems to be bearing down upon her when she wanders into the wrong neighborhood. No harm done, though, because Kumari's opening shot is off track as well. This is where Segina needs to assert herself, but she doesn't take advantage and can't take control of the situation. Kumari can and does. She's golden again and moves ahead by 1 point in what could be the deciding set. Desperate times call for desperate measures, Tatiana giving it her best shot. A 10 would have applied more pressure on her opponent, but it still would not have been enough to derail Deepika Kumari. She leaves no doubt with her final shot and secures her first individual World Cup medal since stage 1 in Shanghai the year before. At the same time, it had to be a major letdown for Tatiana Segina, the young Russian's hopes of making the World Cup evaporating in Poland's hot summer sun. Then again, Segina was up against one of the best in the business who took care of business in Wroclaw. After capturing a team gold medal and a mixed team bronze, Deepika Kumari caps off a brilliant performance by claiming the women's bronze medal match. Here's a question for you. Have you ever wondered what it would be like if a compound archer switched bows with someone who shoots recurve? We asked Colombia's Maya Marcen to trade off with Germany's Elena Richter.
Hi, my name is Maya, and today I'm shooting with a recurve bow. Let's have some fun. It's so big. So the most difficult for me was that it's much bigger than my bow. Her arms are much longer than mine, so I just didn't open it the way she does. And maybe just because I opened it much less than she does, the arrow flew very low. Yeah, I hit the target. Okay. I was lucky just to hit the target.
The string is actually between the bow and the side.
Okay.
So, and probably just aim a bit higher because the arrow went down.
Okay.
Maya looked pretty good actually because her anchor was good and the releasing was not that bad. So
A bit higher.
yeah, she could do it.
This would be a day of firsts for Ika Yuliana Rahmawati and the nation of Indonesia. Neither had ever reached a World Cup medal match, let alone win a World Cup medal. But the irrepressible 25-year-old kept her nerves under control and appeared calm as she prepared to do battle with China's Zhu Jing. Miss Zhu, 2 years younger, came in ranked much higher. Third in the world, she was coming off a 6-5 shoot-off victory over Deepika Kumari in the semifinals. So she was battle-tested and ready to make amends for losing the gold medal to Germany's Elena Richter at stage 1 in Shanghai. We pick up the action after 2 sets and find Rahmawati on top 3-1. Zhu Jing had already won a team bronze medal in the morning session and starts to find the range again. She sets the bar for Ika, and Ika's aim is just a little bit off. Advantage China. Miss Zhu's aim is off to the right on this shot, and she's putting together a good group in the 9 ring. But that doesn't rattle Rahmawati, who tags the 10 line to tie the set at 18. In fact, if anyone's rattled, it appears to be Zhu Jing, who lands her 3rd shot of the set in the 8 ring. That presents an opportunity for Indonesia, a point not lost on the experienced Rahmawati. She needs 9. And she gets 9 to take the set and collect 2 more precious points. Her lead growing, and it's 5-1 now in favor of the unheralded challenger from Indonesia. She is giving everybody something to talk about, and yet she still has to close out this match. Zhu Jing has to take things one step at a time. The first order of business for her, just win the next set and keep the match going. She established the benchmark for Rahmawati, who doesn't waver one little bit. She gains the upper hand. It's imperative at this point for Zhu to put the point of her next arrow inside the center circle. But now she's really in jeopardy, especially if Ika can match her first shot. She does not, so the lead stays at 1 with 1 shot to go. But all hope goes out the window for Zhu Jing when her last arrow lands in the next time zone. That's 7 essentially sealing her fate. All that's required is 6 or better. Rahmawati's final blow is much better. She finishes with a 9. Set, match, medal. A historic moment for the woman who finished 9th at the Olympics in London. Ika Yuliani Rahmawati wins her first World Cup medal.
Sangat senang.
I am very happy because it's the first time I've been in a gold medal match, and I won it. Looking back at the World Cup ranking after Antalya, only 14 points separated the top 9 women in recurve. After stage 4, Zhu Jing is the top qualifier for the World Cup finals, while teammate Cheng Ming claims the final spot after the loss by Tatiana Segana in the bronze medal match. Now the tale of two men, America's Brady Ellison and Canada's Crispin Dueñas, both on the bubble when it comes to qualifying for the finals.
So I'm here in Poland at the 4th stage of the World Cup. I'm really happy to be here and to be one of the top-ranked people going into the eliminations. And recap of my season, I went to Shanghai and placed 6th there. I went to Medellin and placed 9th. I didn't go to Turkey just because of different tournaments I had back home. So I know the field here is going to be pretty tough, but if I just shoot the way I always do, it'll be a gold medal finish.
In my opinion, I had a horrible season. I couldn't get out of the quarterfinals. Just top 8 in 3 of them, and just couldn't get on the podium this year. So I don't know if it'll be enough to make the final, but I think I need to win. I knew if I get up there and shoot good shots that I would have a chance at winning and getting to the top 4 what I need to do. So my main focus was to shoot good.
I try not to think about my qualification chances for Switzerland because it might be a distraction from my shooting. So all I really thought about was my shooting, and I didn't really think about Switzerland, but it was in the back of my mind. I think I got a little unlucky on some of the shots that I shot against Jean-Charles Valadon. He's a good shooter, so you can't have any 8s against him at all, and that cost me the match. So I'm not going to the World Cup final as a shooter.
I don't know if I've qualified or not. I haven't looked at the points. I don't know where everyone else finished today. I wasn't really paying attention, so we'll have to see.
Jean-Charles Valadon had an outside chance of making it to Switzerland next month, but when he dropped a 6-2 decision to Rick van der Ven in the semis, that chance went out the window. That put the 25-year-old Frenchman in the bronze medal match against one of the rising stars from South America. At the ripe old age of 16, Marcus Vinicius de Almeida came into this stage ranked 14th in the standings. And he had gained a lot of confidence, winning 3 titles at the South American Games in Chile. 2 sets in, that confidence was about to be tested, with Valadon grabbing a 4-0 lead. Time now for de Almeida to buckle down. He dials up a 10 and moves ahead in the set after the field archery champion puts his first shot on the line for 9. Marcus Vinicius started the outdoor season with a trio of 9th place finishes in Shanghai and scores 9 on his next shot. Valadon can tie the set, but that 10 looks more like an 8. Advantage de Almeida, now working with a 2-point lead. It's another golden moment for this brilliant Brazilian athlete who takes the set and cuts the lead in half. Jean-Charles, nothing to lose at this point. He can experiment a bit, hoping to gain some knowledge that might help him in the next set. JCV still in command, leading 4-2 as we head to the 4th set. Marcus still in a must-win situation to maintain his chance of medaling. But after heating up in set 3, he cools off in the 4th. 7's not the start he was looking for, especially when it fires up Valadon, whose opening salvo is a strike right down the middle. De Almeida regroups on his second shot, working his way back toward the center of target 1. But Valadon can afford to match shots at this point. He stays in the yellow rings and keeps a three-point cushion. Marcus isn't about to go down without a fight. He takes his last swing and lands a good punch. Still, the only knockout blow to be delivered would come from Jean-Charles. And Valedon does indeed do it. All he needed was 9, and he drills it dead center. The emotional Frenchman is a field archery champion, and he had won many team medals on the World Cup stage. But winning an individual bronze, well, obviously that's something very, very special for Jean-Charles Valedon, who took the first 2 sets from Marcus Vinicius de Almeida, dropped the third, but regrouped to take the 4th set and the match, 6-2. Italy's Mauro Nespoli had an impressive week, scoring a 5-set victory over Brady Ellison in the quarterfinals before dispatching the young D'Almeida in the semis. The 26-year-old Olympic gold medalist came in ranked 23rd, but he'd failed to win a medal thus far and was looking to change his luck in the men's gold medal match against the Dutchman, Rick van der Ven. Number 4 in the world standings, Rick had won the bronze medal at stage 1 in China while finishing 5th in Turkey. He'd only faced Nespoli once before and come away with a 6-2 victory in Poland a year ago during one of the early rounds. Early on in this match, van der Ven vaulted out to a 4-0 lead and had a chance to close it out in straight sets. But Mauro wasn't about to go down easy. He opens up the next set with a 9, which becomes more significant after Rick van der Ven drops his first shot outside the line into the 8 ring. Nespoli's got a little leverage now, but not much. Another 9 means the Dutchman can tie the set, a point not lost on Mauro, nor on van der Ven. Rick comes through with a 10 to tie the set at 18. Nespoli can split the set and stay alive in the match, which is all he can hope for after shooting a 3rd straight score of 9. All the man from the Netherlands needs is a 10 to send everyone home, but Rick's a little low, so the score's tied at 27, and he splits the set with Nespoli, who now trails 5-1 and cannot afford to split any more sets. The Olympic gold medalist must win from here on out to capture a World Cup gold medal. Mauro's making a solid shot, but will that be enough to survive this showdown with someone who's already punched his ticket for the World Cup finals? VDV puts up another 9, so there's still hope for Nespoli after this shot. Mauro needs to make his move, and he does, in the wrong direction. 8 could spell disaster, especially when you're matched up against Rick van der Ven, whose next attempt wasn't much better. But it was good enough to move him ahead by 1 with 1 shot to go. Mauro makes sure it won't be easy for Rick. The Italian finishes with one of his best efforts of the day and walks away with his head up high. Still, the day and the match belonged to the man from the Netherlands. No, you can't always get what you want, but in the immortal words of Mick Jagger, sometimes you get just what you need. It's on the line, it counts as 9, and that's all that's called for to end this match. After getting the best of Pierre Plion and Jean-Charles Valedon in the quarter and semifinals, Rick van der Ven finishes his week-long run for the gold medal. It's been a long year, so I'm going to take a small break next week and prepare myself for the World Cup final. We will do our best, but it's going to be a hard tournament since this year's top 8 archers will be there competing. So, I'll see what we can achieve there. It's been a great battle among the men all season long. Brady Ellison was on the outside looking in, heading to Poland, but after stage 4, the American joins a strong field at the World Cup finals. Till next time in Lausanne, we say do widzenia from Wroclaw, Poland.